The 2020 presidential race is already underway, but rather than repeating the mistake of 2016, most Democrats hopefully understand that they actually have to run on issues, that it can't be we hate Trump, and they're not going to win on we hate Trump. So they understand they got to have some issues. And the issues that's emerging, one of the important is the health care and prescription drug prices. Great. Now, you remember the history on this. The last time the Democrats had a chance to do something and actually make it to where the drug companies had to set reasonable prices, Cory Booker, is he still running for president? Is he going to run for president?
Undecided.
Yeah, okay,
he'll be there.
Cory Booker is the guy that stopped all of it. He said, no, we can't make these poor companies, we can't put them at the mercy of having to negotiate the price of drugs. Yeah, I get it. There's 20,000% markup on some of these drugs. This is Cory Booker. But we can't let these poor people have to negotiate a price of drug to where our price in America is the same as it is in Canada or Mexico or anywhere in the country.
Right, and it was about a year ago. I mean, this wasn't ancient history. This was about a year ago.
Yeah.
And Booker and a team of other Senate Democrats kind of said, listen, we don't want this. That may have been the reimportation, getting the cheaper drugs from another country.
Yeah, but it's the same issue.
Right. But, he's in New Jersey, and they've got a lot of actual drug companies in New Jersey. And he understands where his bread is buttered and doesn't want to make them mad. But those days are coming to an end, because with the public outcry, which is a bipartisan outcry, left, right, center, everything in between, everybody is telling our elected officials, drugs are too high. I can't afford my drugs. The drug companies at the start of January of this year jacked all their prices up for no other reason than they can.
Wait a second. Even worse than that. Those were the generic companies.
Right.
You understand? These are companies where the product had been on the market for 10 years. There was no reason for it. One day it's selling for 50 cents and the next day it's selling for $4. And so what ends up happening is it's not like you can blame that on research and that's history.
Right.
This is just, we want to make more money and we're going to get away with it as long as we can get away with it. I was taking a deposition one time in Amsterdam. It was against, I think it was Bayer. I'm not. Let me not say that. I'm not sure of which company it was. I've taken so many depositions against pharmaceutical companies. But I asked the question. Now, why does this pill? It was Pradaxa. So why does this pill in Germany cost $2, but in America it costs $11? Something like that. And he literally said, because we can. Because we can. And he didn't say because of R&D. He didn't say, gee whiz, we had a bad year on this drug. He said, because we can.
The plane tickets for the drugs are too expensive.
Right. There was none of that. There was none, or we're worried about, drugs being contaminated. There was none of that. He literally said to me, because we can.
And that's why, look, right now we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pieces of legislation, House and Senate, some House Senate combined, that are doing what they can to lower prescription drug prices. Make a public option for generic drugs. That's my least favorite. That is very weak, needed but weak. Let Medicare negotiate drug prices. Well, that should have been happening 50 years ago. Pay what they do abroad. That's one of my favorites. This is the one, Bernie Sanders and Ro Khanna basically
love both of them.
They are great.
Yeah.
But it's telling pharmaceutical companies, basically, because you can, now they're going to say, now you can't. So if you want to charge us $12, then you better be charging every other country in the world $12. And let's see if that works out for you in a sales perspective.
Logical? I mean, isn't that just logical? There's no reason whatsoever. There's no reason. They just say, because we can. Because we got Cory Booker. Because we got these nothing candidates running for president who don't have the guts that people like Merkel or Ro Khanna or Sanders have.